Welcome to Cool Anime Recap. In this video, we will explain the moment you fall in love or Suki ni Naru Sono Shunkan. This anime tells the story of the love journey of two childhood friends who do not dare to express their feelings. This is because one of them has liked someone else at school. Will they be able to express their feelings for each other and end up in a relationship? The moment you fall in love, confess your love committee. Let's find out in the moment you fall in love. The moment you fall in love tells a story of a pink-haired teenage girl named Hina Setaguchi. A little background from the previous anime: Hina Setaguchi is Yu Setaguchi's younger sister who became the main character in I Want to Let You Know That I Love You. Hina was cleaning the school hallway when the broom she was using accidentally knocked down a young boy named Koyuki Iase. The incident became even more disastrous when Hina scolded Koyuki for dropping the trash can and messing up its contents. Hina was angry, and she chased and pushed Koyuki against the wall. Koyuki repeatedly apologized until the classroom door beside him opened. A girl with brown hair tied to the top named Natsuki Inamoto walked out of the classroom. Natsuki was surprised to see Koyuki and Hina, whom she apparently knew. Koyuki is apparently a classmate of Natsuki, a senior at the school. Knowing that she had been rude to seniors, Hina apologized to Koyuki. Koyuki easily forgave Hina and promised to clean up the trash he had dropped earlier. The first meeting makes Hina promise that she will fall in love one day. The next scene shows Hina having breakfast with her older brother, Yu. Yu reminded her not to be late for practice. On the other hand, Natsuki's younger brother, Kotaro Inamoto, is about to leave for training but is caught by Natsuki. Kotaro is apparently Hina's childhood friend, and he's been secretly waiting for Hina to leave for training together. While in soccer practice, Kotaro secretly watched Hina who was practicing. But Hina actually blushed when Koyuki passed in the field. Koyuki often greeted Hina, which made her like the senior even more. While Hina watched Koyuki from the classroom window, Kotaro suddenly appeared from behind. Kotaro apparently knew Koyuki, who was his older sister's friend. Their classmate, Arisa Takamizawa, apparently noticed Hina often watched Koyuki, so Arisa asked Kotaro. But Kotaro was sure Hina didn't like a man like Koyuki. Hina saw Koyuki and was about to approach him. But unexpectedly, Arisa actually came first and greeted Koyuki, even though he didn't seem to know her. It didn't happen just once. Arisa, who finally got to know Koyuki, persisted in greeting him just as Hina was about to say hello too. It certainly irritated Hina until she did not pay attention when Kotaro invited her to see the next match, where he would be the starter on the team. This anger towards Arisa makes Hina realize that she really likes Koyuki, even though the senior is not her ideal type of man. Hina's ideal type of man is apparently someone reliable, masculine, and taller, like her older brother. On the other hand, Koyuki's gentle smile every time they looked at each other actually made Hina feel something else. After realizing that feeling, Hina avoided Koyuki instead. Hina didn't want to admit that she liked the senior when they met in eye contact. Koyuki apparently noticed Hina's change in attitude and came to her. Koyuki's attention made Hina's feelings go wild. Fast forward to graduation. Hina came to Koyuki, who had already graduated. Koyuki will continue his education at Sakuragaoka High. Koyuki was confused to see Hina, who was crying so hard that Natsuki finally took a photo of them as a memory. Meanwhile, Kotaro watched Hina from afar, and he didn't understand why Hina liked Koyuki so much. At night in Hina's room, she is sad that she can't see Koyuki anymore, so she decides to continue her education at Sakuragaoka High and asks you to help her study. Hina told you that she wanted to go to the same school as you and Natsuki. On the other hand, apparently, it wasn't only Hina who studied hard. Kotaro wants to continue his education at Sakuragaoka. When Kotaro asked Natsuki for help regarding a lesson he didn't understand, his older sister actually told him to go to Yu's house to study because Hina wanted to continue at the same school. At that moment, Natsuki noticed that her little brother's cheeks were turning red. Natsuki immediately finds out that Kotaro chose to continue his education at Sakuragaka because of Hina. But Kotaro denies it and says that's because of their strong soccer team. In the end, Kotaro and Hina studied together with you. Their hard work was not in vain. Kotaro and Hina make it into Sakuragaka High. At the new student acceptance ceremony, Hina promised herself that she would not run away from Koyuki. Instead, Hina was determined to shorten the distance between them. Arisa apparently goes to the same school, even in the same class as Hina. They sat side by side. Arisa asks if Hina still likes Koyuki and says maybe Koyuki has changed since they haven't seen each other for 2 years. Hina felt angry and ran out of the classroom. She apparently came to class 3 and met Natsuki, Yu, and their friends. Natsuki introduced them even though Hina was looking for Koyuki instead. Hina finally found Koyuki watering the flowers. She had hesitated because she thought Koyuki had forgotten her, but Koyuki actually greeted Hina and approached her first. They chatted and even saw the flowers growing in the garden together. On the other hand, Kotaro apparently saw Koyuki and Hina together. Hina was getting more and more committed to getting Koyuki's attention. Hina began to dress up and beautify herself every time she went to school. But apparently, it wasn't only Hina who changed her appearance, Koyuki was the same. Koyuki cut his long hair shorter. Hina wondered what caused Koyuki to change his appearance when he became closer to Natsuki. Meanwhile, Koyuki's change in appearance made more girls flock to him, making Hina jealous. Hina then avoided Koyuki when her senior greeted her. In her room, Hina kept looking at the photo taken with Koyuki. Yu, who passed by Hina's room, realized her sister's sadness and asked her to go out to watch a movie together. The siblings are having fun going out together when they accidentally meet Kotaro. And they tease each other and bicker, but Yu thanks Kotaro instead. Kotaro returns home and meets Natsuki, asking him why he didn't come out. In his room, Kotaro kept thinking about Hina, and he was satisfied to see her was able to smile. In class, Kotaro keeps an eye on Hina until his friends notice this. They ask what Kotaro likes about Hina. Kotaro continues to deny that he likes Hina, and his friend convinces Kotaro to keep fighting. After school, Kotaro kept staring at Hina's house, but his sister, Natsuki, actually left the house. Natsuki again teases Kotaro for waiting for Hina. When Kotaro asks if Hina talked about him, Natsuki says that why are they talking about him? This made Kotaro sure that Hina wasn't paying attention to him. Kotaro's memories go back to his childhood with Hina. They have been very close since childhood and grew up together. He realizes that he really likes Hina. He promised to do his best so that Hina would not be sad anymore and always smile. On the other hand, Hina sees a couple and feels jealous of their relationship. Hina crosses paths with Arisa, Kotaro, and friends in front of a burger restaurant. They then decided to eat together at the burger cafe. Arisa said she always wanted to stop by a cafe after school with her friends, so Hina tried to get closer to her. They then played the game question and answer, one of which was a question about how they wanted the person they liked to express their love. Kotaro, who got the first chance to answer, immediately refused. Meanwhile, Hina actually looks uncomfortable with the question, especially after being pressured about the person she likes. Arisa notices Hina doesn't feel comfortable and defends her. On the way home, Hina meets her friend, Mayu. Hina begins to wonder about Mayu and Haruki's relationship. Hina's question made Mayu wonder until finally, Hina confessed how she didn't know what to say to the person she liked. Mayu then shared that she had a friend who lied about her own feelings. Mayu's story about her friend made Hina sure to confess her feelings to Koyuki. Hina doesn't want the incident at junior school to happen again when Koyuki graduates. That night in Hina's room, she tries to write a love letter to confess her feelings for Koyuki. She wrote down everything she felt in the letter. At school, Hina convinced herself to give a letter to Koyuki. Meanwhile, Arisa calls Kotaro, who is practicing, and says Hina is acting weird. Apparently, Kotaro and Hina had helped Arisa, who used to be a victim of bullying. So now Arisa is determined to help Kotaro and Hina. Kotaro then ran towards Hina's place. On the other hand, Natsuki apparently confesses feelings for Yu, who accepts her love. Natsuki and Yu hugged in class, without knowing Koyuki, who secretly liked Natsuki, was behind the door. Hina waited for Koyuki in the locker room, but he came in with tears. Hina realized the timing was not right and tried to hide the letter she was carrying. Koyuki said his heart was broken, so Hina immediately said she loved him. Koyuki thought Hina's words were just to cheer him up, and then went home. Kotaro saw the incident from hiding and came out to chase after Koyuki. Kotaro was angry that Koyuki made Hina cry. But it was too late, and even though Koyuki knew Hina was serious about her declaration of love, she went anyway. Koyuki instead asks if Kotaro likes Hina and suggests he doesn't regret what was never said. Hina bursts into tears and goes home from school with Kotaro. Kotaro vents his anger about Koyuki. But they changed the subject and went home from school happily. Kotaro invites Hina to watch the next soccer match. The Moment You Fall in Love closes with an extra credit scene where Yu and Natsuki invite Hina and Kotaro to watch a movie together because they have 2 tickets left. The double date was fun, though Kotaro wonders if Yu and Natsuki's relationship will be okay. After that, they tease each other until Kotaro accidentally says that the girl he likes is Hina. But Hina's answer was completely unexpected. Hina apparently knows about Kotaro's feelings for her. The anime ends with Natsuki teasing Kotaro for blushing and Kotaro chasing after them. The moral that can be learned from this anime is don't hesitate to confess your love before it's too late.